The Passion of the Christ might just be the most powerful Christian movie based directly on the Bible. Some of you may be wondering why I would even cover it, since we usually like to uncover hidden truth in popular entertainment. But if you're watching this video when it comes out, today is Mother's Day, and I want to pinpoint something about the story of Christ that most people tend to never notice. So this is going to be a special Mother's Day episode, and I'm going to forever change the way you see the story of the Passion of the Christ. Today we're going to talk about motherhood, and specifically Mary, the Mother of God. But before we get there, you need to understand the Devouring Mother archetype. This is a common archetype, and it's crucial to understand. The Devouring Mother is a mother figure in stories who is overprotective, controlling, emotionally consuming, manipulative, and they prevent growth and independence. She'll hinder the child's development and remove their autonomy. The kid is manipulated into forever staying dependent on the mother through fear and control. One of the most popular examples you may be familiar with is the story of Rapunzel, who's trapped in a tower, particularly in the Tangled movie. Or the story of Cinderella, who's also trapped in a house to serve her stepmother. In both stories, a maternal figure keeps them trapped there until they are rescued by a man who helps them develop their independence. Mother Gothel in the Tangled movie doesn't really love Rapunzel truly enough to allow her to develop and gain independence. She only loves her in a possessive way because she needs her to live. These stories are about how adults must become independent and competent enough to handle life on their own. It's about escaping passivity and a parasitic relationship. You have to leave the smothering, suffocating home behind to venture out into the world. Children begin life completely dependent on mothers to survive, but good mothers have to slowly teach them to become independent. The reason I wanted to use this video to talk about Mary is because I think that Mary represents ultimate perfect motherhood. Even though we can read about her story in the Gospels of the Bible, the Passion of the Christ movie really shows what I'm talking about perfectly. In its most basic form, healthy motherhood is nurturing, protective, life-giving, and guiding. But the reason Mary's motherhood shows us the ultimate highest level of motherhood is because Jesus lived the perfect life. Mary was obedient and faithful to God's plan and allowed Jesus to leave home, start a ministry, build a following, and ultimately change the world through his sacrifice. It's by her example that mothers can do the same today. In the movie, we see that Mary knows something bad is going to happen to Jesus. It makes sense that she would know. In Luke 2, Simeon prophesies it. Then Simeon blessed them and said to Mary, his mother, "This child is destined to cause the falling and rising of many in Israel, and to be a sign that will be spoken against, so that the thoughts of many hearts will be revealed. And a sword will pierce your own soul too." Luke 2, 34 and 35. I mean, after all, before her pregnancy, Mary was contacted by an angel who told her about Jesus and his importance. So between that and Simeon prophesying about her future sorrow, Mary knew Jesus had such a great purpose for his life that's beyond any of our understanding. She was obedient and faithful to the end, and that's why she was trusted with this task. She was blessed and highly favored. Many people around Jesus could have guessed what was going to happen, but even they couldn't fully understand it. Jesus warns his followers multiple times about what's coming, and they never got the full picture. Even if they could have seen that he was going to be captured and killed, nobody could have possibly known that it would have been done so gruesomely and horrifically. It must have been so hard for Mary to watch Jesus be killed and undergo the torture and suffering that he did without having the ability to step in and help. She just had to sit back and watch. And the movie does a great job showing how hard it is for her to witness and handle. Yet she does it anyway. One of the most beautiful statues ever carved is Michelangelo's Pietà. It perfectly captures Mary's role, and that's the role of the mother who offers up her child to be beaten and crushed by the weight of the world. As difficult as this is, I actually think this is a symbol of what every mother is supposed to do to an extent.
She knows what's going to happen, And so she's the archetypal representation of the woman who says yes to life, knowing full well what life is, not naive, not someone who got pregnant in the back seat of a 1957 Chevy, but consciously knowing what's to come. And then also allows it to happen, because that's another thing that's a testament to the courage of mothers. The psychoanalyst, the great psychoanalyst, I think this is actually Freud's dictum, but I'm not certain of that. He said the good mother fails, which is it's a brilliant observation, because when you have an infant, you do everything for the infant, because the infant can do nothing for him or herself. But as the infant matures and is increasingly capable of doing things for him or herself, then you pull back, right? You don't interfere. That's better for you, and it's certainly better for them, because you compromise their independence. And so as a mother, you pull back and you pull back, and you let your child hit him or herself against the world, and you fail to protect them. But by failing to protect them, you encourage and ennoble them to the point where you're no longer necessary. Now, they may still want to see you, and it would be wonderful if that was the case, but the point is that you're supposed to remove yourself from the equation by encouraging your child to be the best possible person that person can be. Maybe if you're female, you're Mary, and why is that? It's the Pietà, because you have to offer your children to the destruction of the world. That's female courage. That's the mother that doesn't hold her child back. It's like, go out. To what? Eventually your death and destruction. Go out. Leave me. Be in the world. That's feminine courage, man, to let her baby go.
So now that we have the example of the devouring mother as the ultimate bad mother, and the example of Mary as the ultimately perfect mother, what are we to do now? What lessons can we learn from this? I think if you're a mother, you don't need to be contacted by an angel to know that your child, even before their birth, is a specially created person with a special God-given purpose in this world. So like Mary, even before your kid's birth, you can know that it's going to be your role and responsibility to help that child see their full potential. What's hard for mothers, though, is to watch their kid go through struggles, hardships, and challenges. The motherly instinct to want to protect your kid from everything can be strong, and it can be painful to see them struggle or suffer. But the Bible tells us that that's how we get stronger. And not only that, but we also glory in tribulations, knowing that tribulation produces perseverance, and perseverance, character, and character, hope. Romans 5, verse 3 and 4. And if we are to follow in Jesus' example by taking up our crosses to follow him and to die to ourselves daily, then there's no way that process won't be painful and difficult. But we must do it. And it's much harder to do if our parents don't allow us to. They need to be able to see and know that we were created for a great purpose. We've all seen mothers like the devouring mother. I've seen them in my own life with people who I know that are adults who still have moms that are emotionally dependent on their kids. Moms who don't really let their kids grow or experience challenges on their own. They're always there, like a helicopter parent, even when their kid is supposed to be fully grown up. My mom is not like that at all, and I'm so grateful and appreciative of that. She's the reason that I so badly wanted to make this video. My mom is far from a devouring mother, and more than anybody else I know, she reminds me of Mary. She let my brother and I grow up and develop our own independence. As difficult and challenging as it must have been to let us go out on our own to build our own lives and take risks, she let us do that. I know it's been hard for her. I know many times she's been concerned for us and our safety. Many times maybe she thought about stepping in to help or do something, but she lets us face challenges, struggles, and hardships on our own. She let us ride bikes around the neighborhood on our own, climb trees, get stuck, and get all scraped and cut up in ways that other kids didn't. She let us drive around town to hang out with friends or go on dates, while some of my peers still couldn't even drive on the highway yet. When we got older and still lived at home, we'd often come home really late while she was worried every night about us making it home safely. And through these experiences, my brother and I have become stronger, more competent, and capable men. And that's only because we were trusted to live our lives independently, experience the world, and make mistakes. Other than Mary, I know of no mother who did this better than you, Mom, and for that, I don't think that I could ever repay you. I wanted to make this video specifically for you, just to thank you for everything you've done and the sacrifices you've made to let us go and become who we were meant to be. Happy Mother's Day. If you like this video, please hit that like button and leave a comment letting me know what you think. Am I missing something? And what would you like to see us cover next? If you'd like to help us keep making content like this, exploring the deep, often overlooked Christian truth in popular entertainment, consider supporting us on Patreon for as little as $2 a month. Thanks for watching.